Yeah, another ground you mentioned is adultery. How do I prove adultery? Am I going to drag my husband's or my wife's whatever to court and say you've been sleeping with my husband? I don't want the marriage again. And is this thing not even risky? Because it looks like somebody is just by your doorpost to enter your house. You now say you don't want. Hey.
Well, funny enough, yes, you're supposed to drag the side chick or whoever. If you say, look, my husband or my wife committed adultery with Mr. X or Miss S, you must join that person in the petition before the court.
If it's
Except you don't know those people, then it's a question of fact. If you're able to present evidence other than say, look, I know that because he who has out must prove if you can, but you don't know the actual person.
But what if they are not, it's not one person involved in it? Like your husband is a fast guy. It's like five people.
So you should be able to convince the court that, look, I don't know her name, but in fact, I saw them when they entered the room. The hotel people say he comes with different girls, and you can look for how to establish it. But if you know the side chick or the side guy, you must join him or her to the petition.
So let me just say, one single girl, the side chick just wakes up and your name is, they have called you to come to court.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Yes, the side chick should go and look for her own husband. Or the side guy should look for his own wife.
Maybe married women should start suing their husbands some more. This is very embarrassing. Imagine waking up in the morning and then they come and save you with the court process. Yeah, they've called you for adultery.
Exactly. So maybe next time he or she will leave married people alone.
So I have another question.
Okay.
You mentioned adultery, still on adultery now. You said if the woman decides to let it go, what if maybe at the beginning of the marriage, maybe the first time the person noticed, oh, my husband has a side chick, the person decided to let it go, but later changed their mind and said, I'm not doing, I want to take you, I want to be out of this marriage. Can the person still use that adultery she had forgiven as a ground?
No, if after he or she decided, okay, well, let us move on, she cannot go back. And maybe after some time, something has happened. See, maybe after a year or 2 years later, something has happened. Give me money to buy a pair of shoes. And the man say, I don't have money. Say, oh, okay, you don't have, okay. You remember that time? No, you can't.
It's my forgiveness. I can forgive the person now.
Yes, you can forgive the person in your heart, but you can't go to court on that ground because you have already.
Is the law not forcing forgiveness in this instance?
No, it's in this instance. It's not the law forcing forgiveness. You freely gave the forgiveness. So what the law will say, you already forgiven. You've moved on. If not, it will be you already condoned it. So why do you want to come up this time around?
Oh, so the word is condone.
Yes.
Okay. So what if the person says, okay, I condone it, but okay, how do I prove that my partner had condoned my adultery or whatever in court? What do I say? How do I, if I'm party at the other side, how do I prove to the court that yes, so there was a time I was doing this thing, but she said she has forgiven me.
Exactly.
How will I prove that? Maybe in the case of adultery.
Merely by continuous living together.
Okay.
Continuous living together. So okay, look, this happened a year ago.
Okay.
Then she wasn't pregnant. Or look, our youngest child is 1 month old, and this thing happened 1 year ago. So that means even after that, she became aware. I mean, we moved on, we kept living together. In fact, look at the fruits of the living together. 1 month or 1 week old child.
What if she just slept with the husband because she had no choice?
Every human being has a choice.
Emotional.
Because the law allows her, she doesn't need to wait for 2 years, for the 2 years mark.
Okay.
If they just got married, that's 2 years mark immediately after the marriage. She doesn't need to wait for 2 years. So why can't she go to court if she's not happy about it.
This is very interesting. So I have a very emotional story. And as at the time I was told this particular story, I was very emotional. I was it's like, let's sue the man. But we did not sue the man finally
Okay.
because it was family and all of that. So I'd like to ask. So if a man refuses his wife access to the children because he's the father
Mm.
and you are not, and there's divorce now and he has custody. Is that all right? Does the law support that?
Actually, the law does not support that because both the father and the mother have equal rights to the company of the child. However, during the process of divorce, to consider who gets custody and who gets visitation rights, there are some things the court will look at. If the marriage is okay, maybe I should start from culture. If the marriage was under native land custom or under customary law marriage, some customs look at the father will want to give custody of the child to the father. Some customs, and the courts will ordinarily allow that. However, in doing that, the interest of the children is what is paramount. The interest of the children is what the court will look at. Therefore, for instance, if the child is not weaned yet, the child is still breastfeeding, and of course, you can't give a suckling child to the father.
Okay.
Then the court will also look at if the man has married another woman, the children are very small, the child is not yet weaned, then how do you hand the child over to the father? So these are some of the things they look at. Then if the child is a bit bigger, the court will also look at who is the child more attached to.
Okay.
Yes, these are the things the court look at. Then who is more stable.
Okay.
So for instance, a man who is a businessman, today by 8 a.m. he's in Abuja. By 1 p.m. he's in London. By the same day, by maybe 6 p.m. that same day, he's in Dubai doing business all over the world. How do you hand over little children to such person? Not because the man is an irresponsible fellow, but because the nature of his business will not work to the interest of the child. The children will suffer. So, whether under custom or under the act, what is paramount is the interest of the children. That is what the court really looks at. So even if the custom says hand over the children to the father because he is the owner of the children, the courts will look at the interest of those children.
Okay, so there's this. I didn't tell them my story. The story is that the man became very abusive to the wife and to the children, and so the woman had to run away with the kids. And so now the woman has custody of the children because she ran away with them. So now you're saying that what the law would consider is the best interest. In that case, it means that she can keep the children, but the court has to award that custody. Because now she already has the children.
She already has the
In
children.
her custody, and the husband is saying, "Give me back my kids."
My
and all
kids.
of that.
Yes, of course. In such instance, she already has the children. Of course, you can't say she kidnapped her own children. They are her children.
Okay.
A mother or a father cannot kidnap their children.
Okay.
The children are already with her. However, we don't have the full facts of this case.
Okay.
We don't know why she ran away. We don't
Because
know
the man was abusing her.
Well, if we restrict ourselves to the fact that the man was abusing her,
Mhm.
was the man also abusing the children?
Yes, I believe that.
Well, if the man was also abusing the children, of course, the court will hand over the children to the woman for custody and then give the man the situation right. But if the man wasn't abusing the children,
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe the man was not happy with the wife because she was not treating the children properly. And now she will want, because we have seen instances where the woman just want to have the children just to satisfy, herself, to punish the man. We have also seen the case where the man wants to have the children, not because he can take care of the children, but just to punish the woman. These are cases we have seen, the life cases that we have seen. So
Okay.
the courts will really need to look at the situation before granting custody or awarding custody and visitation rights.
Wow. So in other words, it doesn't matter if the wife is not very rich.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter, because when you are talking of the best interest of the children, what a child needs is not only material things of life.
Okay.
You understand? The child needs other support, emotional support, and the rest of them. So, of course, the court will look at, does the woman have the means or the man have the means to take care of the children? But where it's in their better interest or their best interest that the woman who is not really well to do or who really didn't have much is handed over or deserves to have custody of those children. The court will also, in the same light, make orders for the man to pay maintenance, take care of those children in the woman's house, because
Even when they are not living together anymore.
yes, of course, yes. Now,
Okay.
what if I get your question now is, does court make
Maintenance.
yes maintenance paramount in such instance? Yes, the court will award maintenance for the party that does not have money, but it's in the best interest of the children that
Wow.
they stay with that party or the other partner.
Okay.
So, if, for instance, we have seen instances where the woman is wealthy, from a wealthy home, doing good in business, or even where she works, and then the man is just from one poor guy, no money, from a very poor background. All he has is his 6 packs or fine looks. So in such instance, of course, you wouldn't expect the court to say because he is the man, then he must pay maintenance to the woman who already is a millionaire or even a billionaire.
Okay.
Yes. What the law says is any of the party can be awarded maintenance or even money for upkeep.
Oh wow. Okay, so really what I have gathered today is that divorce brings, for you to leave your home or leave your marriage, you have to legally terminate the marriage.
Yes, you have to legally terminate the marriage. If not, you'll be accused of desertion.
Okay.
Yes, you'll be accused of deserting your matrimonial home. And then, let me quickly add, for those ones that live apart too, the husband is in Lagos, the wife is in Abuja, or those who have moved their family to Canada and the UK, the law says, where they have lived apart for a continuous period of 2 years, and the other party does not object, or where they have lived apart for a continuous period of 3 years, and it doesn't even matter whether you object or not. That means if you decide to take your family to Canada or to UK, you must ensure that you have the visa to visit the family at least once a year.
If you are making money and selling them maybe maintenance, you're giving them everything they need. Maybe you are the man and you're giving your wife money and everything, but you're not able to meet her see them for 2 years, because man, it's hard.
Well,
Outside there or something.
good enough, it's good to make money, but after collecting the money, she can go and file for divorce and tell you that, well, money is good, but I also want the company of a husband.
Wow. And the law will support that.
Yes, because the law says continuous period of 2 years if the other person does not object, or 3 years, whether you object or not, you can file for divorce.
Okay, still, let's go back to custody. Can a child decide who to be with? Like, I don't want, say, I don't want to go with my daddy, I want to go with my mommy. Or I don't want to go with my mommy, I want to go with my dad.
Yes,
A child
yes, yes. Of course, a child can. A child who, I mean, is who can take decision. Of course, we are talking of a child, maybe somebody who is like 9 year old or something. Of course, a child can say, look, and the court will want to find out why.
Why? Okay.
Because we are looking at the best interest of the child.
Okay, this has been a very interactive and very informative session for me. I hope you've been able to learn something today. I have learned a lot. And just by way of repetition, we learned that if you married figure 8 or you married a man that had 6 packs, and maybe after it shows that this man has lost all his packs, he now has an amusement park. Maybe the lady in question, there is no shape, or what we are seeing now is nothing. We're just seeing somebody moving around. You cannot pack your bags and run away. Whoever, you have to legally terminate the marriage, whether you like it or not. If you just move your bags from the house and leave, you are still married. And also, we've also learned that, very interestingly, a man does not have a right over the child, or does not have more rights over the children of the marriage more than his wife. So the court looks at whose best interest, the interest of the child at the time, to protect it and awards custody. So there's nothing like this child is my own. If you know that your children are going to, if you leave a marriage and you find out that your children are not going to be comfortable, you know that this is my husband, he's a good person, but he does not have time for these kids, and you can show that in court, then you should go to court. Then the brain buster for me today is that side chick, they fit sue you. If you are chasing somebody's husband and the wife says, I don't want this marriage again on the grounds that you've been sleeping around, the court says they should drag the person with you. So one day you can just wake up and they have given you court process. This one is not breakfast, court process. Then imagine going to court and then they will tell you, what is your name? Do you swear to tell the truth? What will you say? Like, if they ask for evidence, they want you to testify, you will just carry your fine face and go. I'm sure the judges already, they have condemned you already. We have good judges in this country, they will listen to you. But this is to say that, don't be shocked one day, you just wake up and there's court belief by your door, knocking. So today has been very informative for me, and I hope to see you next time. My name is Margaret Owana. Thank you.